Welcome to the CFG Game Cast, episode number 183, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode every week and release it on podcast services like Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Podbean, and so much more. So show us some love. Do us a favor, give us a like on Facebook, a subscribe, or follow on YouTube or Twitch, or go to our winning website, confreaksandgeeks.com, to not miss an episode. I am Mr. CFG Games himself, Davis Green, and with me today are my two awesome co-hosts. I got Lex in the second seat. What is going on, my cyborg?
Oh my goodness. Well, as you said earlier, I'm getting over COVID. I didn't wear my mask 4 times and I got it. And then Dust was a couple of days behind me. So it's been a rough 2 weeks. We're just drowning in congestion phase, which is so much better than what it was prior, but it's still pretty miserable. I didn't do too much gaming. I did like my basic island duties on Dreamlight Valley, and that was kind of it. I could not, for the first couple of days, I couldn't even sit up, so I was just in bed for 3 or 4 days, and on the 4th day I felt like, oh, there's a break in this. I'm starting to feel a little better, and my fever went away, but I still had all the other symptoms, so we're still on Theraflu and Dayquil and all that. But I did have a weird thing happen to me yesterday, and I'll regale you guys with that. I went to sign some documents with my lawyer, and I was talking to his assistant in like their little conference room that they have, and she went to go get the lawyer, who happened to be on the phone at the time. I don't have peripheral vision, but when she left, I turned my chair and watched her leave as this man was walking up, and he just stood there and stared at me. I ended up timing this interaction, and it lasted 7 minutes, which felt like a lifetime. This man walks up, stares at me for at least a minute and a half before saying anything, and says, "You look like a cartoon character." Now, normally when I am in public, I draw my eyebrows in and I do black over here and red over here, opposite of what my hair is. And I'm wearing a mask. I just have the bare minimum done. And I was like, okay, thank you. Continues to stare at me. Another minute or two passes and he goes, "Do you know who Cruella DeVille is?" I'm like, "Yes." And he goes, "You're kind of like the opposite of her." And I was like, okay. And I'm trying not to interact with this man at all. Like, just leave me alone. And then he goes, "What made you want to dye your hair half and half?" And I go, "'Cause I fucking felt like it."
Oh my
And then
God.
my lawyer walks in, and I'm thinking, oh, this man needs to use a conference room. I'm in his way. This is why this is happening. No, that's not why. My lawyer goes, "Can I help you?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm just looking at her." And he goes, "That's not fucking creepy." And like slams the door on this guy's face. And he goes, "Do you know who that is?" I go, "No." He goes,
Weird.
"Sorry about that." And I'm like, oh my God.
This
Oh
is
my
where?
God.
At the
At
doctor's
my
office?
lawyer's office.
That is the oddest situation. Hey, but Lex,
Yes.
do you know who is the hardcore investor for Kickstarter products and tchotchkes?
I do. His name is
The 5-star general of the itty bitty Smitty committee. I got Smitty in the third seat. What is going on, my dude?
Yo, it's been busy. Also, I feel like that was kind of abrupt.
Yeah. Well,
We have to start.
Great story, Lex. Great story, Lex.
thank you. I just get stared at.
It's not like we stopped the video or any way to kind of, to disguise.
And that is why, to those that are listening to the podcast, that is the reason why you need to watch the shows live, because you ain't getting the whole story.
No.
You didn't even get, like, literally, you did not get the whole story. It was a great story. It was a great ending.
Thank you.
I love it. I can't believe somebody called you a cartoon character. I'm surprised. You remember the Domino's? Like, what was that thing called? The Noid?
Yeah, the Noid from Domino's.
I'm sorry.
It kind of, after the interaction, it made me happy because I could come home and tell Dust about it, and there were other people witness to this, so he because I've said I have weird interactions with older men in public all the time. He's like, that's weird. You must be inviting this behavior. Absolutely not. And now there's like, my lawyer was privy to this interaction. So like, there's no denying that.
So was this guy a part of the law firm, or are you just a random stranger just walked inside?
Sounds like a random dude.
So it's a shared office space. So he must have an office somewhere else, because I know there's like construction companies there too. But yeah, he's in a totally different area and just came up to stare at me, I guess.
There's no way. I'm like, you got a problem?
I know, right? Jesus.
If I hadn't been there for my lawyer, I would have been like, dude, can you fuck off?
But dude, there's
no
holding back.
Nice.
Especially because I'm in my lawyer's office.
Yeah. But anyway, Smitty, what's going on with you, my dude?
Yeah. It's been, like I said, it's been a busy week. Last week or earlier in this week, I had the privilege of writing a review for Exoprimal for MMORPG.com. I'm gonna throw that link up in there. So if you are on the fence about Exoprimal or whatever, there's a review by yours truly. So that was the first time I've ever done an official review. So it was nice to be able to see what that process is like and being able to go through, because I really do enjoy that game and it's a lot of fun. I'm still grinding away at it. Other than that, though, we started Baldur's Gate, which we're going to be starting a fresh run here with Davis and Lex here as well. But Dustin and I had started when we were, you know what I mean? Like, we had just gotten going. I didn't know that, like, once you start, it's basically, and I'll tell you from what we've played so far, absolutely amazing. That was kind of like a subtopic that I had too, is just the people saying, there's been a lot about it on Twitter, if you're on there, about people saying, the standard, the bar has been risen, this and that, every game should come out like this. And then there's been weird commentary about people are like, oh, developers are scared and that they don't want this to be the standard. But I think there's a deeper conversation there in terms of that. There's a big difference between the two. So if we got some extra time, we could dive into that a little bit. I won't right now. But other than that, though, playing that, obviously getting back down on some Marvel Snap, and then working my way through Final Fantasy 16. I'm about, I want to say 70% done with the game. So we're getting there, but I've been working time in to get it in. That's the one thing about Baldur's Gate 3 is, like, it's legit like a D&D session. So you don't really want to move forward if, you try to find a time where everybody can play and do their character and stuff like that. So, like, that's
what I love. What I love about you, it's funny because, like, it was funny. So the first week it was like Final Fantasy 16. You're all in on Final Fantasy 16.
I still am.
Then Exoprimal comes out, then you're like, okay, Final Fantasy 16. I'll try to play as much as I can Final Fantasy 16. But Exoprimal is the new hotness.
I wasn't anticipating Exoprimal. The only reason I tried it was because it was on Game Pass, and it just happens to be fun.
Yeah. Then it's Baldur's Gate 3, and now Baldur's Gate 3 is like, okay, Exoprimal, you need to take a break.
You're the one that convinced me to get Baldur's Gate 3. You're convincing stuff last week. So
oh man,
before the
it's
podcast
funny.
Even ended, I was like, all right, dude, sold. I'll get it. I'll do
it. Very
Say
influential. No so have you played that? No. Have you played the Exoprimal throughout this time, or besides the review that you did?
Absolutely, I've gotten down on some more Exoprimal.
Okay.
Well, I was writing the review too. So, like, what I learned, here's something that I learned: it's better for me to write while I'm playing the game and things are fresh and stuff like that, as opposed to trying to go off my memory.
Oh God, I could. That's probably yeah.
Trust me, the re-edits were brutal.
Yes.
And rightfully so. So I'm glad though that I had that chance to go in and be like, all right, dude, I gotta dive deeper in. I gotta get more hardcore, and like I had that mentality of like, well, I don't want to spoil it for people. I was like, wait a second, it's a review, dude. That's literally what a review is.
Well,
like,
it begs the difference.
Say exactly what the things are, but like go through. I need to get more in depth, and I was very much kind of skimming over the surface. In terms of a lot of things.
Do you know what the best thing I would suggest for it, since we do reviews, like gaming, I've been doing gaming reviews for a long time. Shameless plug, CFG Games or ConferenceGeeks.com. Can't even say my own website right. But would be the best way to look at it is this. you don't want to ruin it for a person, to spoil it, because you're trying to let people know about the game, but you're wanting people to be hyped about the game or see it in a non-objective point of view. So what I like to do is I like to give a synopsis of what the game is about the story, like a brief summary of what the story is, but leave the story open-ended, and then give it the pros and the cons, and then mix it up with the features that you can do, and the things that make the game great, and stuff, and the things that make it bad too. So like I said, you have to make it be non-objective towards all of that. So because it's not just everyone can do a review. Actually, I'm sorry, I tried to find your review the other day, but I didn't. I just saw it was published yesterday. So I want to read it. Yeah. So I
just dropped it in chat there.
Yeah. Okay. We definitely.
That's the link there. Go check it out. Go show all the love, y'all. Go show all the love.
Right. With the writer.
I tried my hardest.
Coming soon with his best writing reviews right there. Let's see. Red says I'm 80% done with 80% done with Final Fantasy 16. I'm between 16 and 14. Well, you're always going to be between 14 because 14 never ends. So here we go.
I don't think I'll ever play 14. I just don't got that kind of time to do it.
Yeah. Oh God.
And I've come to the conclusion as well that I think after the Light and Dark saga for Destiny, I think I'm probably going to be done with that game as well. 10 years, it's been good. There's not really, and especially after this state of the game that they laid out in terms of we don't have the resources to make new PvP maps or Gambit maps, and it's just like, all right, dude, like
they said that.
Yes, dude.
Wow,
man, that's a whole other topic. What's going on in the Destiny 2 community? But dude, it's really bad, and the reason they don't have that is because they're working on Marathon. They've dedicated those teams to Marathon. I guarantee it.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay,
it's like, look, you just say if you're done with the IP, you're done with the IP. Like, just call out, and I'm, we'll see what happens after the final shape. But I think I'm good.
All right. Well, I mean, that's for me.
I
mean,
how's
well, I mean, take it easy.
I've been ask you.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. I'll wait next time. But I've just been playing Baldur's Gate, man. I've just been hardcore on just wanting to finish up on the. It's funny. I have so many different sessions with like 2 or 3 different sets of people. I've been messing around with different kinds of. I'm on 3 different sessions right now. And
ridiculous.
I got one. It is my solo play, which I'm just messing around and tinkering with how things work, and then I have then I have two multiplayer plays, one with my friends, and then one with another friend named Maddie, which is ridiculously funny, I will have to say. So we definitely so we're just messing around with that mostly, but I haven't really done much other than that. So
can we say if we're gonna play as a group? Can we do a recording of our perspectives? I feel.
Yeah. Well, I was already planning on doing it.
Oh, okay.
But if you want to do the recording now, there's a lot of things we can test it out, because I will say this: it's very resource driven on your computer. So like you have to. There's a specific kind of way of settings that will avoid the stuttering issues that game does do. So I can go through that with y'all if you need to. So we can mess around with it and then go from there. Cool. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. But so guys, I know y'all don't want to be talking about Baldur's Gate with us again, because it would take days for me to talk about it. I will go nonstop as much as I can. But so we'll go through the normal rigmarole that we like to do each and every week. So each of us chooses a topic of discussion in the world of video games from the previous week. The topic would or could be a game itself or something that happened in the gaming industry. The topic we hear like the conversations here on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, Facebook, and so many and others. So if you are listening or watching us while we're doing this live, by all means, just type it inside the chat. We would love to discuss it with you and see what your point of views are on what our topics are amongst the people that are listening to us. So let's get this party started. I will go first, and I want to talk about EVO 2023. Originally I was going to go to EVO this year, but due to some unforeseen circumstances, I wasn't able to make it last minute. So I I didn't go. However, Smitty did go, and he said like had the like Smitty went one day and it was a freaking awesome, right? Like you loved it.
That was great.
Yeah. Yeah. There was just so much that happened on Evo. Evo seems like it's like now like an official mini E3, but for fighting games specifically, because like all the announcements and stuff that come out during this event now is like all about like, you know, upcoming fighters, upcoming like changes, roll. I guess the big keyword is rollback netcode, because now a game like there's no reason a game does not have rollback netcode anymore. Yeah, so like it is freaking amazing that that they're doing what they're doing with it. So yeah, so like so E3 this year was held, of course, at the Las Vegas Convention Center. No, not Las Vegas Convention Center, Mandalay Bay. It was at Mandalay Bay?
It was Mandalay Bay, and it's EVO.
What did I say?
E3.
Oh, E3? Oh, my bad. Okay. Yeah, E3 was at Mandalay Bay. Thousands and thousands of different kinds of like literally like there was thousands of people that went to this event. Did I say E3 again? I said E3 again. I know I heard myself. I was like, I said it again. Yeah. Oh my God.
Like, I don't know if he's doing this to troll me.
I was thinking to myself, I was like, wait, that doesn't sound right. Yeah. So like yeah, it was freaking great. EVO was freaking great. Street Fighter alone had 7,000 people on the brackets, like the bracket list, and it was insane. Like, but they made it, like they ran it pretty well for the most part. So there was a lot of different kinds of things that were happening, but there's some crazy announcements that happened. Like right now, inside the video I'm showing right now was the announcement of some of the new characters that's coming out for the upcoming game, Mortal Kombat 1. They're doing like they're announcing multiple groups of people. I think they're doing a really good job at this, because this game's coming out like in September, so it's coming out very soon. I think the big one was Reptile, what they're going to be adding to it. But there was just so many great highlights in this at this event. Like I think the biggest highlight for me was that there was a blind guy, a person that was completely blind, that was that was in the tournament and was playing with a blindfold on, completely blindfold on. At first I thought he was just flexing, but no, he said that he was legitimately blinding. But it's showing now the effects of like what games are starting to do with like the accessibility options, to a point that people who are completely blind can play competitive fighting games, especially at a level of professional fighting fighter level, and still have a legitimate chance to win. And it's insane. Like this is some of the clips of it right now. He's this guy is the Honda player, and he's just ridiculously he's ridiculously consistent. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. So the convention itself, like now EVO itself is now at a kind of being treated like a convention on the first 2 days, and then the third day they're at this ridiculous auditorium. Originally, when they started moving the show at the auditorium, it wasn't filling up. Now the auditorium is almost at full capacity, and this auditorium is a huge center. Like you, yeah. So I'm actually amazed about what they do, and then the graphic effects. I'm pretty sure
that's where the WNBA games are played in.
Oh, is that where they do it? Okay, I had no idea. I'm pretty sure
that's their arena. Yeah. Michelob.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure that's where the Aces play. Yeah.
Wow, that's freaking awesome, because no, I've been loving like everything that they've been doing with E3 that's coming up with it. I mean, now it's owned by Sony. Officially, it's owned by Sony now. But what? E3. God dang it. Okay. Jesus. Now it's becoming a drinking game. But
where's my drink?
Yeah, they're right. So, but no, I wanted to kind of get your take about it. Like what was your, since you actually went to the event, how was your personal experience at the at EVO?
It was, dude, it was awesome. First off, major props to the FGC. The fighting game community came out. They showed out. They showed, you know what I mean, what it means, not only on an esports tournament level, but on the convention level, that's something, because I interviewed Rick Thayer here a few weeks back. He's a general manager. And one thing that's important to them is not only the fact that it's a tournament, a very competitive, the biggest tournament, fighting game tournament in the world, but it's also a convention. And that's a focus that they put on too. There's indie developers like Five Force Fighter and Kaizen Creed them, that they have showcases. They get a seat at the table. They get to be a part of panels. There's cosplayers. There's all kind of stuff. And I mean, the community comes together and they have a great time. They meet new people. They make friends. They get to see friends that they've never gotten to meet before. The first time I went to EVO was in 2011. My brother came out here. I didn't even know about it before then. And I was like, this is insane, man. So like to see how much it's grown, this broke records for them in terms of stuff. Obviously a big boon with Street Fighter 6 just coming out, being able to get our definitive, which I believe it was a Pakistani, right? That I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
They've been, dude, them there in Tekken, Pakistan is people are going to see what they're doing in Pakistan.
Wait,
they're that good.
Wait, are we someone from Pakistan won Tekken?
No. I think didn't the person that won Street Fighter was Pakistani, I believe.
Yeah, he was. Oh, I thought he was Saudi Arabian.
No, I believe he was Pakistani.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, but there's a huge thing in Pakistan where like they've been kicking the shit out of everybody in fighting games, and people are trying to go over to figure out what the hell it is they're doing to get this good. Which that in itself is a whole other story. But I just love it, dude. The competitive sense of it, the bigness of it, obviously with Street Fighter 6, like I said, that definitively crowning. But then you got to look at what's coming next, right? We saw Michelob Arena was jam packed with people for the finals. I believe that EVO has outgrown Mandalay Bay at this point in time.
I mean, but where else could they go?
Surprised. There's all kinds of places. Look, I'm having other conversations with people, and I know that the city of Las Vegas is willing to help facilitate that growth.
Oh, EVO's EVO's grassroots on Las Vegas, because I mean they technically made August 6th EVO Day.
They did. In Vegas. So there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that have been working on really getting involved and getting the city of Las Vegas. The city of Las Vegas has been open, and the state of Nevada in general has been open to this stuff. So there's key people that are getting in place that are now starting to get that stuff going. And they are definitely willing to go all in. I know that the casinos, they're already, and they've been working on how they get into that market and working on legislation to get that stuff. We had the governor sign a national or a state esports day into law with help from Congresswoman Erica Corsa, Hugh, LV Inferno, Ed, who we just had on LAN parties here a week or so ago. He works with the city of Las Vegas, specifically in workforce development and like youth development within video games and esports for the city of Las Vegas. So, dude, man, there's a lot going on. I could totally see EVO moving to a bigger venue. Not only that, but then what do we got? You said we've got Tekken 8 coming out. We've got MK1 coming out. We've got Project L coming out. There's and this stuff is all throughout the stuff. So like the crowd's not going to get smaller. It's only going to get bigger.
Totally agree.
You know what I mean? And the fact that we do see our government officials doing steps like Tick Searboom or Seegerbloom. I think I'm butchering his name. But he's a Clark County commissioner. He, giving the key to the strip to them and them recognizing video games and esports. The state of Nevada is all in on this, and I can only see it getting bigger from here. And again, to Rick, the whole EVO team, bravo to them on all levels, both on physically being down there as well as the broadcast that they had going on. They were executing on all cylinders. Absolutely.
Look at it this way though too, because I don't know if you've really noticed it, because I don't think you watched it. Did you watch it on stream in any way, like Twitch on Twitch or anything? Like
I did not
Evo?
know.
Okay, so like you know how Twitch is very like advertise heavy on it per se, and I think you were going to say something, Lex, but I'll get to you in here in a minute. Sorry, yeah, so they're very advertise heavy. Twitch or Evo has gotten large enough to say, no, we're not gonna do advertisements to Twitch. They didn't. Right. It was a straight stream. And keep in mind, Evo has 9 different Twitch channels, like at the same, that's going coincidentally at the same time. And
there's other deals and happenings that they have on a more broadcast level with people.
It's ridiculous.
So it's interesting how that works. Or if they if they like give some sort of cut or something to Twitch to be able to do that, or there must be some sort of negotiating.
Something in the background, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Totally agree. Mm-hmm. Yeah, what do you think about that? What do you think about Evo, Lex? Would you ever go to one? Go to one?
Absolutely, I would love to go. If I hadn't been sick, I maybe would have been like, "Hey, Smitty, can I be your assistant and carry your bags for you?" No, all I heard was how smooth everything went, and to see that somebody with I don't see well. We all know this. This isn't news. But to see somebody who is blind play a fighting game and do it so resiliently makes me so happy. And I talk about this too a lot, that sound quality in games is super important. I remember when I first started streaming on Twitch, I got made fun of for my huge headphones, but I have to have headphones that I can hear if someone is behind me to my left, if someone is behind me to my right, if they're coming up on me from the left or the right, because that will determine how well I play in the game. And I'm obviously have been using a different set of headphones lately, but that's super important. And when I do play games where it's vital that it's, it's not just for funsies, it's definitely a win or lose situation. It's really important that I have really good headphones. But to watch somebody who obviously has a disability and they are blind, but especially the character they picked, Honda is perfect because he's not close quarters. And so he can play from pretty far out, hear where his opponent is, and then use his attack strategically to then down him. But I just heard amazing things about Evo, how well it went over. And a lot of people talk trash about the fighting game community, how it's toxic, yada, yada. But honestly, like with the convention, I didn't hear anything negative. I had a few female friends that went, and they only had wonderful things to say. And we all know that sometimes in certain communities it can be really toxic towards female gamers, but none of that. They felt like they were welcome. They had people come up to them and talk to them who watched their channels and vice versa. So I would definitely go to Evo, and I'm really glad that they are outgrowing their space. They deserve it. And the city of Las Vegas does do really amazing things with trying to incorporate new communities and seeing that obviously there is growth and that we should be investing in this. So that makes me happy because I love my city. I love my town. I don't know if I could ever move out of Vegas, but it makes me happy that they're, with open arms, essentially. That's great. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. So so we'll see. Hopefully, Evo 2024 happen when it happens. Maybe we should get something in the works on it. I know we were going to do a physical, maybe a physical together, kind of podcast kind of thing. Would be cool.
That was one of my things. And this is coming from a media standpoint, but it was the hardest to find their press room.
It was hard to even apply for press, which was really annoying for me because I was trying to apply for press because I didn't want to pay for regular admission, and there was no place to show. There was no place to apply for it, or at least I don't know where to go for it.
I absolutely. There was something, dude, that went out about it.
Well, tell me off screen because that's probably the thing. Next year I'll do it.
So I mean, it was literally just behind the curtains at the very end by the main stage, and then there was a couple of tables set up. Now, I don't know about you or if you've been to press rooms or not, but usually they got some snacks, some coffee or something.
Yeah, nothing.
There was none of that.
Here's a table and a chair, and you're gonna like it.
Bathrooms back there, and not even enough. For that being a big convention, there was maybe 6 tables back there in this area. But I saw there was a whole ass other room, but they had food. It was a green room, I think. And there's food and stuff like that in there. It's like, damn, dude, like this is.
You should go to the green room to stick some of that.
I know. I
should have gone in. It would have been fine.
I don't want to be that guy to be like,
snacks
what are you
in the
doing
backpack.
Here? You know,
it's like, there you go. Yeah, it's freaking great. Like,
I'd love to be able to do something where we did a live podcast from down there or something like that. I think would be super dope.
That would be awesome. Maybe get the word in. Maybe be like, hey, next year, give us some I don't know, cookie crisp or something. I don't know, some candy or something.
Hey, trust me, I've already said some things to some peoples and whatnot about it.
Does Las Vegas Inferno, do they have a fighting game group of people, like, professional fighters?
No, I don't believe we have anybody on that's in that's I don't know if that's something that they're looking at, or
how do they not
it wouldn't be a bad idea. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. So
I mean, like, yeah, because that would be a perfect. I mean, like, you have EVO in your backyard. You want to have someone to represent for Vegas.
Yeah, but I'm not going to pretend to understand what goes into the back end of that kind of stuff either.
Yeah,
so, like,
that's true.
I can't really.
That's true.
Like, I understand what you're saying, and like, it's like that totally. Yeah, it's like I get it, but like, again,
I'm just saying, maybe suggest that to the big man up top. Since you have the connections with it, the big cheese,
the big Kahuna.
Baby Cat can professionally fight for them if they want. Just Max, my old man.
Hey, yeah,
money. There you go. All right, Lex, you are up.
It's my turn.
What do you bring into the table?
Well, if you guys have followed me for any amount of time, you know that I loved, and when I say I freaking loved the South Park games. I played the Stick of Truth and the Fractured Butthole. I almost wanted to say
the Fractured Butthole.
Yeah, no, that was the 20. They had
to change it
in 2014,
yeah.
And then they had the Fractured Butthole. Oh my god, did I love those games?
Fractured Butthole was awesome.
So much fun. Oh my god, was it? I was singing all the songs. Everything was done so freaking well. And we just got word South Park Snow Day is a 3D 4-player co-op game arriving in 2024. Now, they haven't said too much about it. They did release a video. Now, the core group is going to be Cartman, Stan, Kyle, and Kenny. They take place in a celebration surrounding the magical occasion of a snow day. As a kid, we all know snow days were a huge thing. In Vegas, I got a snow day as a kid, and it was fantastic, but it sucked because we weren't even in school that day. I was so mad. I was so mad. But 4 players can join together in this co-op title on a quest to save the world during a day without school. So they did release a teaser trailer. Now, you don't have to have a 4-man team to play this. It looks like you can play it solo or 2 or 3 people. But it looks pretty good. I will say there are some parts of it that do look a little janky to me. It is South Park, though. It is a cartoon. It is supposed to have a certain aesthetic to it. But there were a few moments, and it could also be because it's a lot of white cast in the background because of the snow. So it may just be a me issue and not a you guys issue. But some of the 3D working didn't look quite as crisp as I thought it would for a teaser trailer. But I don't really care at the end of the day how good it looks because I love the storylines. Now, the people that are making it are not the same people that made the previous 2 games. So I'm a little worried. I hope that the quality of the storytelling is just as good, because if it's not going to be South Park worthy. The writing is what makes it. And I'm, again, with the Stick of Truth and the Fractured Butthole, just the music for silly little scenes was so good. The musicality, the verbiage, the way I still use the term member berries. So if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But I was curious what you guys thought. I know I loved the games. What are y'all's thoughts on this?
Do you know what's funny? It's Day Night on Twitch just posted as well as anyone else can too on Twitch,
Mhm.
to say that did anyone ever play the old South Park on 64? That was fun, but this one I'll have to check out. This gives me vibes of the 64 version
Yes.
of the because the 64 version was an FPS. Like about it was an FPS thing, and that's where I was kind of going with, and that's what kind of disturbs me, because like we saw a perfect like rendition of the South Park worlds with Stick of Truth and Fractured But Whole, and it felt like it was a giant South Park episode, like, and how it was
absolutely
set up and everything. And I mean, and that's cool. I don't think it's going to be nowhere near that same level of deal. I think this is going to be more of a like actually a good comparison to me. It reminds me of the Arkham games, and then like everyone's hyped about that, and then Suicide Squad's supposed to come, but then you saw Suicide Squad didn't play kind of like what Arkham was going to play like. It was going to be like more of a shooter co-op kind of situation. I think this is like how Anthem. This is going to be. Is it going to be like Anthem? Was it? I don't remember.
It looked like from what I saw. No, dude. I think they had to take that back and rework it.
Yeah.
Everybody viewed it.
Yeah, because originally this game was supposed to come out at the beginning of the summertime, but then but we haven't heard anything at all for the during the whole thing.
Rework that.
Yeah. So I don't know. So like I that's why I'm kind of skeptical about this, because you're right. The way it looks very not South Parky. Even the it doesn't have the animation. It's the full 3D models. It's what's throwing me off. It's like a 3D version of Cartman and stuff. Yeah, so like I don't know if I'm hyped, but I will give it a shot and try it out just to see if it's just me going crazy. If I'm going crazy.
I don't know if you remember, but there was teaser trailers for both the Stick of Truth and the Fractured Butthole, and they did, for the teaser trailers, show the fight scenes, the two major fight scenes that happen in that. They did show those as the teaser trailers back then, and I felt like they were kind of alluding to that it was gonna be a shoot 'em up, but it's a South Park game. But then they came out and they had these wonderful storylines, and so I'm kind of feeling maybe that's what they're doing here too. Like, look at all the action, but it was also a South Park game, and you know how those work kind of scenario.
Yeah,
I'm hoping that that's the case, because I mean, even in like Stick of Truth, Fractured Butthole, both of them, if you had to talk to somebody and it was to move the story along, and you had to go back and talk to them again because maybe you forgot, because that's what happens with me. Their secondary responses and their third responses were absolutely hysterical. Everything to a T with South Park, and with I'm really hoping that that's the same scenario for this one. Smitty, what do you think?
I'm kind of like, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't played any of the games. I totally have one of them, and I started it and I haven't done it. Here's the thing though, I loved South Park when probably like back when I was in college, and then I didn't stick with it after a while. I just kind of stopped watching it. You know what I mean? Like, and it's hilarious. And it's a hilarious show. I don't know. I have no inclination to really go and watch it, even though I know that I'll see like little memes and stuff like that. And I think it's hilarious, but I don't ever actively go out looking to watch episodes. So I just never really, I've just kind of been like, meh. And like, I started one, like I said, whichever the first one is, but then I end up moving on to other games. So I'm kind of indifferent. I agree with what you guys are saying, art style wise. And especially if it's not the same folk that have made the previous ones, that would be my biggest concern on whether it's going to be authentic to a South Park experience, or, will it clearly not be within line with that stuff. And obviously it's going to be using the South Park stuff as a model. And I don't know very much, like, in terms of who's writing or any of that stuff. I just mean stylistically, with the 3D look to it.
I mean, it looks like the 3D look is really what's kind of throwing me off on this. It's like, but like, how this like how it shows the brief look of the gameplay, like with the multiplayer, doesn't even seem like it was like, I mean, it doesn't even seem like a South Park world at that point. Like it just looked like it was it looks like that they're
it's nothing really recognizable as far as like buildings and sets and things like that.
Exactly. Like it just feels like, oh, I'm sorry. What?
No, I was gonna say the other thing too is why? Why?
I guess why not? They have the rights. They just wanted to give it a shot. They want to play it again.
The other games were super successful, and we all know I'm a huge horror game fanatic, but I stopped what I was doing to play both of these games. I think I played Fractured Butthole 3 times through.
Wow,
it was that good, and I played them back to back to back because it came out in 2017, but I don't think I got a hold of it until 2018. And this was back when I was big into Monster Hunter, and we all know I didn't stop playing Monster Hunter to save my life.
Yeah, you
but I
did
to stop playing, or I stopped playing it to play Fractured Butthole. But I played the Stick of Truth first because I was told that they were going to be hand in hand. Yes
Kind
and
of.
no.
Yeah.
Sort of, but you didn't have to play one to play the other, and vice versa. But and you're right. I haven't seeked out to watch South Park in a long time. I was really big in it in college, but I don't have cable anymore, and so it's kind of like, well, where do I even stream this?
Paramount.
But yeah, I do have Paramount too, which
I totally do too. And I'm like seasons upon seasons behind. So
and it's funny because my goddaughter loves The Simpsons, but the South Park was my Simpsons, and because I wasn't allowed to watch The Simpsons when I was a kid, and I just kind of felt.
But you could watch South Park.
Yeah, South Park was a lot worse.
I was not in the house by the time I was watching South Park, so I had emancipated, and I think I was 16 with my first apartment, and I could get South Park on my TV because for some reason I couldn't get like normal channels, but I could get South Park and a few other like weird like TBS. I had like 4 channels, but I could watch South Park. And so as I was studying, I would watch South Park as like a comic relief for my stress. And so, I'm really hoping the storylines are as good as the past 2, because man, were they now I want to play.
I don't think it's gonna have the same kind of level of story.
So?
It doesn't look like it is. I mean, it just doesn't look like
the same kind of trailers for the past 2 didn't look like that either.
But they
but this is a co-op though.
This is a co-op multiplayer. No, it was a full-on RPG. It was a full-on RPG. Yeah, and this is like this is a completely different style. And I think that what made the original one, the other 2 good, were that the creators were a part of that as well. So like they made the story, they did the plots and did all of that stuff on top of that. I mean, who's to say? I mean, it still might be a good game because it seems like they're going a different direction than what the RPG version did, but still, because like one of my favorite parts in Fractured Butthole was when you could the secret boss in that fight, which by the way, I will say spoilers, but this game is been out for 7 years, so whatever. But the secret boss in this fight was Morgan Freeman. And so then so my character was a black dude, and but the funny thing was that you can't fight Morgan Freeman as a black dude because Morgan Freeman doesn't support black on black crime. So I had to change my character to a completely different ethnicity. Just to fight Morgan Freeman. It is freaking hilarious. And this dude was hard. He was no joke. It was such a hard fight. Yeah, but definitely, but it was like some of that stuff was just hilarious. It was just stuff like that was sprinkled in through the whole experience of that game, which makes it classic. I don't think, I'm not seeing that same kind of vibe for this. It seems like it's just like a free for all, kind of like a party game, kind of like a Splatoon kind of thing. So
I can see that.
Yeah, so I don't know what to expect on it. I mean, and it is what it is. I mean, THQ Nordic is a 50-50 kind of studio because when it comes to this kind of deal. So we'll see it. We'll see if it does hold true to a good story. But then again, they did make Darksiders, so keep that in mind. So there you go.
I mean, it kind of looks like it almost looks like a battle royale.
It does look like a battle royale. Yeah, you're totally right.
That you can have 4 teams or 4 players on a team or something.
Yeah, but a lot more compact, I guess.
Yeah.
So I hope it's good. I'm excited. I have really dark humor. So I'm all about the South Park games. They are a little niche in between my horror genre. Or back then it was my animal fighting. Animal fighting? No,
Animal
Monster
fighting.
Hunter.
Oh my god, it sounds terrible. It's like Lex has like a background, a backyard animal fighting ring.
Nice. Yeah.
This is news me.
Yeah,
news me.
He just shapes knives on the side of her paws. It's like, oh my god. It's like, come on. But anyways, Smitty.
Yeah.
Why don't you close this off? What are you bringing to the table, my dude?
Let me just say this is perfect timing for Don, because I know if anyone wants this news, it's definitely him. Overwatch 2 Invasion is officially here. Side note, it came to Steam on the 10th, and it is already the lowest reviewed Steam game, I believe, ever. I know, which we all knew was coming. People were waiting in the rafters to dislike this game, I'm sure.
Oh, wait. Overwatch 2 is on Steam? When did they start? Yes. So it's not on Battle.net anymore? It's not solely on Battle.net
anymore? It is on Battle.net as well, yes.
Oh, so you can...
It is also on Steam.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And side note, if you have Game Pass, you can actually get the new character, and I believe it's 1,000 coins, or maybe it's just 1,000 coins. I'm not 100% sure, but basically you can get the Battle Pass for free with the Game Pass. So that totally, I tried it out and it worked for me. But they came out with Invasion. This is what was supposed to be essentially the reason that Overwatch 2 is a thing. I'll say it costs $14.99 or 1,000 coins. Yeah, $15 for 3 missions. Let me just kind of run through. Yeah, I know. So there's Underground, which is essentially what they call a replayable co-op mission that you can do that's going to be open. It's actually time gated to September 2nd. So I don't know if they're going to be switching out different stuff for the open co-op thing, what that's going to look like per se, but I know there's a time limit on that open one. And I believe it's called Underworld
Underground.
So the ones that you pay for though there's 3 different missions, and really I got through 2 of them last night on hard, and obviously there's hard, that's like probably middle road. Then there's another tier. There's like 2 tiers above hard that you can do. Here's what I like, that we're getting cinematics and things that are in the present day within what's going on within Overwatch. We're finally at a point where we're getting context to the present and what's taken place within the present. 3 missions though. And here's my thing, and I'm not 100% sure that I'm understanding this correctly, but from my understanding is that for the $14.99, this includes any updates after for the PvE stuff. I don't know if that's in perpetuity or if it's going to be on a yearly thing.
Okay, so you're saying, wait, so they're saying that you pay $14.99 and then you have it's going to pay for all of the content that's going to be coming for the year, or you're not sure about that?
That I'm not sure. So it says, wait. No, that's something else. I'm trying to find where it said it exactly, because I know I read in the article. Oh yeah, so it says, get started today with the Overwatch 2 Invasion Bundle, which grants permanent access to the Invasion story missions and 1,000 Overwatch coins, which then can be used to purchase the Battle Pass for 1,000.
Okay, that's stupid then. Okay, so that's how it sounds like. Sounds like there's going to be an Invasion story, and then if they decide to make another story, but a story that's not Invasion, like let's say after Invasion, it's going to be another $14.99 or whatever. That's how it sounds.
I hope not, because this is Invasion is the story. Like this is part of the bigger, like this is now taking us into present day Overwatch and what's going on. Essentially the fact that Null Sector is now attacking more things. So if you played any of the other missions, it'll be very, very familiar. There's some new bots and stuff like that, but we have no different abilities than we've had before. And it just, I don't know, man. It kind of, it left
This
me,
is garbage. This is terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's utterly
from
terrible.
what it was supposed to be. Like, this is what I thought we would pay price wise for a fully expanded Overwatch universe that has different abilities and is very separate. Not more missions of go kill a bunch of bots, sit in a place, defend a thing, kill some more bots, defend this thing again, move to the next location. Like, and again, I love the cinematics. I love that there's messages and we're getting voicemails. Like, all the story elements of it have been fantastic. The gameplay loop is trash. It's the same as what it's always been doing. It's exactly right. It's the exact same thing that we've basically already been doing. We're just getting more in the story, and the story is more present day now. So, you know, and again, I only played last night a bit, but definitely disappointing in my eyes. Some of the big things, though, obviously, I'm a support main. We got another support, Ilaria. She is freaking dope. She's got her toolkit is dope. I don't know how I feel yet about her ult, but she's got a nice little, basically like this thing that you like put out and it'll constantly send healing out to people. You can like put it on walls. You can put it anywhere. It's pretty dope. Her gun, I feel like people are saying like she's OP, but it's totally not true at all. Like, her gun doesn't do a ton of damage. Like, it takes a little bit, or unless you're like doing a squishy or something like that, then she could do some pretty solid damage. And then she's got a beam, almost like Mercy, but she could shoot it across the room and heal people. But it doesn't just stay out. Like, it has, like, it runs out of ammo or runs out of whatever she uses, and then whatever. And then she's got a hop. She's got like a boost in the air that she's got a kind of a little bit of escapability as well. So I think overall solid character, definitely better than Lifeweaver in my in my thing. But and then they have a
I'm saying this, like, do you know like why people love Baldur's Gate is because of this trash right here. Is exactly what this is. It's like I mean, it's like the level of first off, we were lied to. I mean, I will never get over that. The fact, because I knew if it was up to me, I would not have moved over to Overwatch 2, even if I cared about it. But like the whole thing is just like this whole process of all of this that's going on. To say that you're going to be doing this as an episodic adventure, but the experience is the exact same damn adventure that you've been doing for the past 7 years, and then charge $14.99 to do this kind of stuff for this feature is aggravating. It's just aggravating. But then when you just see a brand new game like Baldur's Gate 3, that says, oh, we're not going to do microtransactions. We just want to give out the story. We're just going to give you all this different kinds of stuff, even though it was in Steam Early Access for 2 years. We got our shit together. We're going to give this out as one complete whole experience without you fully worrying on it. Now, there's still nicks and bugs that's still in the game, but still, you don't. You're getting what you were promised from the beginning to the end. But this is this is infuriating. This is the expectations that we're seeing for AAA developers. For gamers, it's such bullshit. It's like people should be mad, man. People should be ridiculously upset about like what the kind of crap that even like on a personal level. We may not like I don't know how game development works, but overall, but the fact of the matter is that if they're going to give us something that's like that, and this is the experience that you're wanting us and you're wanting the community to show for something that's been around for as long as Overwatch has, and this is the crap that you're giving us. No, obviously not. It's really like crazy. It's crazy to be on this. And I'm looking at the reviews right now on Steam, which is, mind you, freaking hilarious. I will say.
Oh my god, they're amazing.
Yeah,
the community is really coming together.
Like I'm looking at the thumbs up on the recommend. The one guy, and he says, personally, as a Destiny 2 fan, I love paying for nothing, for no content. Got really worried for a second that when I purchased this product that it would come with content. content. However, to my surprise, it actually didn't give me anything. I think this is a genius marketing tactic by Blizzard Entertainment. Another incredible way they are pushing the industry forward. 10 out of 10. Screw these people, dude. Screw Blizzard. Seriously, it sucks to say, but this is what if this is what y'all's plan was to come in the first place, you basically lied to your whole community. You're basically going to give yourself a subpar thing, subpar content for the quote unquote upgrade, free upgrade that you're going to do. And then on top of that, have a paywall for the new characters and stuff. Screw you, dude. I'm not going to pay a cent for anything that you're going to give me with this. It is freaking unbelievable that these people are successful when it comes to this. I'm sorry. I'm done with the rant.
They're not. They're not.
I feel exactly how you feel. And Davis, you didn't even play the game. That's what's funny is
Right.
Davis was never in this community. I had a daily involvement in playing with my group to play Overwatch every single day after work. Every single day I was playing Overwatch for I think 4 years. And now every once in a while too, I have a dream and I'm playing Overwatch in my dream, but Lucio will not move and I can't figure out why. It's just I'm not mad anymore that I stopped playing. I'm really not. I mean, besides, the whole scandal that happened, that was my main reason in stopping when I did. I a few times offline have played with other people just to see what Overwatch 2 is about. And it never felt like anything new. It was like, okay, this is just Overwatch 1 and you gave me a different map. Okay, great. But if you played Overwatch 1, you would get these special, like during the summer, they would do like little invasions and you would fight the bots and then you could try to do them all on different modes and blah, blah, blah. But it was the same thing over and over again. So now you're telling me if I want to play these invasions, which always felt like a chore to me, I have to pay for it? And you lied to me about the content you were going to be giving me in the first place? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Get out of here. That's criminal at this point. I'm not mad that I stopped playing. It's a bad game, bad updates. The comments on Steam are hysterical as far as the reviews. If you really want a good chuckle, go watch them. But this is ridiculous. This is what we had before. Oh, you gave me a new map that doesn't even look, as far as quality wise, as good as the previous maps. Whatever.
Oh my God.
I'm not shocked at this point. I'm really not surprised. They just, again, and Donk said it really well. Overwatch 2 is a used baby diaper on a plate, and Blizzard is calling it a ribeye. Facts. All facts.
I love that. That's funny. Also it's like saying Smitty invest in Dunk Coin because Overwatch 2 is a bad investment.
Yep.
I love that. But Smitty, overall, you have.
Oh, the writing's been on the wall though. The writing was on the wall when Kaplan left and a bunch of people. Blizzard has not been the same Blizzard for quite some time now. Right. But the writings were on the wall in terms of this. It was bullshit to me that they strung people along pretending like the PvE thing was really gonna happen, and then they gave it some lame ass excuse like, oh, we're just not gonna be able to do it. But don't worry, we're still gonna do some of the stuff. But guess what? We definitely figured out a way to properly monetize this thing. Again, I'm not gonna say it's a dead game. But
it might be, dude. It really might be.
It might be just because they got too greedy. And this kind of goes into the point where I'm saying, and I'm not going to pretend like I know what goes into game development, but with Baldur's Gate 3 and then people are like, oh, they set the bar, people, developers are scared and blah, blah, blah. It's like, look, dude, like Larian they put the time in. This game was developed over 6 years. It sounds like they didn't have some sort of corporate head breathing over them saying, you got to finish this up, having crazy deadlines. And I think that's more so what they mean when they're saying expectations. I don't think any developer wants to put out a shitty game, But when you've got corporate, I've been, especially if you work in a corporate world where you got corporate deadlines where they're saying, we don't give a shit. We just need this to make X, Y, and Z,
Money.
or it needs to come out on this date or whatever. And you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't look to blame. And don't get me wrong, there are some bad developers as well.
I mean,
but I don't think.
No, I'm sorry. Continue.
To me, this isn't a developer, like in terms of that, a developer issue. That is more of a corporate issue coming down and everything being expedited and rushed and then worker crunch and things like that. So I think we really got to see. I think what Baldur's Gate showed is what you can accomplish when you've got the time to put in and you have a better sense of what that community and the people that are building the game and publishing the game are the same people that understand that community are they are head first and understand the importance of that stuff, as opposed to a suit that's looking at profit margins and things of that nature. I think that's really what that shows.
Well, keep this in mind though too, because it's kind of funny. I was actually thinking to myself, like, is Blizzard kind of going to the point that it's like, is it becoming like the new version of EA? Because that's where it sounds like it's heading at this point. Because EA's been
they're definitely out EAing EA.
Yeah, EA is notorious for what you're saying with these deadlines and stuff. I mean, like, you remember, Battlefront 2 was a prime example of that. Dude, like Anthem, all these different kinds of stuff that they were trying to do. Remember the Anthem customization was behind a giant paywall when it first came out? And stuff. So
I watched Smitty go behind the paywall.
There was a giant paywall initially, because the big thing that they were showing that they were advertising for Anthem initially was that you could have a fully customized mech. But the only problem was all that customization was behind a paywall for cosmetics, and you couldn't. And then the money was stupid to ask for, like a ridiculous amount for what you got out of it. So I mean, Anthem, all this stuff. Like they were transactioning the hell out of all of this. These updates, just basically these deadlines and stuff, usually doesn't work very well for this kind of deal. So it's already been proven that kind of stuff doesn't really work for this kind of deal. So the mentality is weird to me that it's like, it's like they're like, oh, we need to try something different. I know, let's do this. It's the same freaking process, just in a different way. So I mean, you're right. The developers do not mean. Ooh, that was weird. Developers do not want to go make a bad game, but at the same time though, it's like what? Like, why are y'all kicking? Y'all are literally doing the same thing over and expecting a different outcome. Literally the definition of insanity, which is unbelievable to me. I mean, and what's worse is I mean, remember I think 2 weeks ago when we were talking about Overwatch League asking their teams to if they're wanting to opt out and stuff. Dude, with this kind of stuff, people don't care about Overwatch 2 anymore, man. Because of the stuff that they're doing with all this with this. So I will be surprised if there's going to be an Overwatch League for this kind of crap. You the consumer has gotten screwed. I think gamers have gotten screwed. And I think this kind of stuff is going to lead them to kill this game even faster. So
well, and at this point, like we said, it is criminal, and I'm not going to be shocked if there come in 2024 if there is a bunch of lawsuits coming forward, because for the Overwatch leagues, we'll give you $6 million back, but that wasn't it $25 million up front, and then they have to do a yearly additional, I think $6 or $10 million to keep into the league. Stop. You lied. You didn't just lie to us as the consumers, but you created a league that then had to have sponsorships and this, that, and the other. They're technically reneging on all of those contracts because they overpromised clearly, and now they're not coming through with that. So this looks like a lot of class action lawsuits about to happen.
We'll see where this is going to come with this, but overall, I'm just glad that you actually gave it a try, Smitty, because I was actually
intrigued on what it is. Just to know, you know what I mean? Again, I love the story, but even there was a short that came out I don't even find myself interested in watching his shorts anymore. I have been so detached from the world of Overwatch. They killed it for me. You know what I mean? Like, it's so like it's just not the same experience. It's not the same fun that I used to have. And you know, dude, like I loved Overwatch, man.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
that was really one of those games that really like I truly competitively played with people online and like.
Oh yeah, I missed one weekend and I got thrown out of the crew.
He's still not gonna let that one go.
Lex went on vacation.
He'll never let it
Her.
go.
Yep, no, it's fine.
He sees Tracer's tiny little butt and his wallet opens. Yes, love.
Yeah.
How'd you know? How'd you know? How'd you know?
Oh god.
Oh no.
Oh man, look at that. Oh man. Then on top of that, like, you know, the like, okay, so I want to know what they're going to say with like when BlizzCon comes out, you know, or this year, because even though they're, you know, how, like about what they expecting out of this, but we'll see. Anyways, like I said,
I feel like this is the same predicament that Destiny's in. Like, it's literally turned into a microtransaction hell. Like, literally,
how microtransaction is Destiny?
Going on, dude.
How microtransaction is he?
So
I'm asking. I don't know.
Happens. So the Solstice event, which is going, I don't even know if it's still going on. Literally everything is behind a paywall that you can earn from the Solstice. Basically, any of the cool looking stuff is all behind a paywall. It's like, this isn't an event. You're telling me I'm getting these tickets, but I can't use the tickets because I don't have this other thing that opens up that pass in order for me to use these tickets. I was like, why am I even doing this then?
That's ridiculous.
It's absolutely ridiculous. And all their shit, again, is cosmetic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, dude, like, this is
but like you said, though,
somehow you guys can't afford to make new Gambit and PvP maps? Get out of my face, dude.
Ridiculous. Like you said, though, they're only, it seems like they're like you said, their main focus is another game. So hopefully, like, maybe I don't know what they're going to do with it. Did they shut down Destiny 1 completely, or you can only play Destiny 2 online?
You can still go play Destiny 1. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. So that's crazy. Yeah.
But you can't play Overwatch 1.
Yeah, oh god, that ridiculous. Anyways, folks, thank you for listening to episode number 186 of the CFG Game Cast. Thank you for being a part of the conversation as always. We will be back again next week, but you know who isn't going to be back next week? Smitty. He's going to be away, so we're going to have a special guest.
California.
Yes, next week. Ooh, nice. Have fun with that, man. That's gonna be cool. Yeah, guys. But if you did miss out on this episode, that's okay. Just go check out. We release them every Monday mornings on all podcast services, so you can definitely listen to us on Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, all podcast services out there. So there's absolutely no reason to miss out on our sexy voices. Ooh. Guys, thank you so much. And also be sure to check out our main website, confreaksandgeeks.com, with some awesome updated content. We just did our updated post on with EVO, as well as DreamCon 2023. So definitely check that stuff out. So once again, this is Davis, Lex, and Smitty signing off. Y'all take it easy.
Bye.